Right, okay, what about this then? So far, I'm amazed, actually. We haven't really been that far off, so I want to see, does it diverge here?
We just
who is number 6? Who is number 6 here?
Heretics.
Right, now we have already made one. Because here's the thing. I almost feel like it'd be better if I didn't, but spoiler, I've gone crazy. I put Heretics number 2. We'll get to why.
I mean, there is a...
Go on then.
There's an argument for that.
I will say, once we get to this point, the list gets crazy, in my opinion. It's a lot easier to say the bad teams, in my opinion, than it is actually, except for G2, who is good. Because the question, who is good, I don't even think, for real, these teams know if they're actually good or not yet, Sabatine. Like, some of these squads, I think everyone's just hoping they are. So, right, obviously, I'm hyping them a bit more. Why have you got them down at 6? What's the concern, maybe, for you here?
It's the opposite of Rogue. Rogue has 5 strong sides. Heretics has 5 weak sides. They are not straight weak. Like Jankos, Wunder, Perks, they are not weak. They usually enable someone in the team, but they've decided to assemble this roster around a utility duo lane. I don't think Kaiser is like super good in lane, and Flackhead, obviously, we saw it with Targamas back in G2. He's a player that won't wait for 1.5 item to start like skirmishing, fighting, playing the lane. He's definitely not like the profile of Hansama. And so what does this team do in early game? Is it Jankos that's like finding insane angles every single time, giving double kills to Wunder, and Wunder like getting 4 plates, and then they use Herald top? Is it like Flackhead and Kaiser suddenly being lane kingdom and Perks and Jankos moving towards them? Is it just Perks winning every single laning phase against VTO, Caps, Humanoid, Larson, and all these guys? So my problem is, what does this team do in the first 15 minutes of the first 25 minutes of the game? Because after that, you know for a fact that this team is going to be extremely dangerous. They're going to make the right decision in macro every single time. But what happens if they get snowballed? And there is a huge argument that against G2, Fnatic, Vitality, potentially SK, potentially Rogue, they're going to be snowballed. On the paper, all these teams play faster than them, and they have just better laners. That's my point.
Here's what's sad is the only thing that makes me nervous is I don't disagree with most of what you said. But here's the thing, though. This is where I do, though, because essentially I will admit, like, spoiler, when I put them number 2, I am definitely like hyping the fuck out of them, and I'm going off my own biases, because this is an example of whereas for the ones where I don't know some of the players, I'm just trying to guess like what is most likely to happen. This is more like I'm thinking of if you make the team the way I would do it, I think it could work. So basically, first and foremost, I am essentially putting a lot of faith in Peter Dunn as the coach, because I think if you just look at a lot of his teams, I actually think, by the way, the EG team especially showed this to me. If people don't know, there's a reason why me and Monty never shut the fuck up about that storyline that a lot of people missed of EG, which is that they didn't bring Danny and Jojo in together. They brought Danny in first, then they brought Jojo in, and as a result, because they integrated them one by one in different splits, they actually did a system where if you saw each split where it was the guy's first split, he would sort of be protected and covered within the team and wouldn't have to be a total carry like threat. And then it's like as that split went on, they sort of like unlocked him, and then that's why like Jojo, the irony was, looked way better after Peter Dunn, because that was when he sort of like matured. It was time to like be a carry instead of sort of like, if people know, obviously that team played for Inspired, not the fucking mid lane. And so in the same way, right, essentially what I'm trying to get to is, for me, I think one of Peter Dunn's strengths is actually constructing like a system around the team and sort of being in, even though people see him as a very optimistic person, and sometimes being cynical and being like, right, maybe he's having problems with this. And so if people will know, the only issue I have is this: he's tended to do it in the past from the other end. He's band-aiding weak players and making that work. So like the only area in this team I could see that being a factor is he better work a miracle on Kaiser, because I don't even know, beyond the fact he played with he had Kaiser in his team in the past and they won a championship together, why he's even in here. Like the idea that Trimby is going to be sat like, what's going on in the LEC? But Kaiser gets to play is a bit like, what? Is there something going on behind the scenes I don't know about? So that's the one player where I need the classic Peter Dunn magic. Then my hope is, and I genuinely hope this, I just hope he tries to like unlock the top side of the map, basically. Because I'm with you, right? If you look over the past few years, because he's played with Upset, Noah, fucking Reckless, yes, Wunder has had to weak side the whole time, basically. And the joke is, it's like the old days of when it was perma weak side, like Renekton's like your dream pick, like that's a carry pick for you, you know. So I think in this team, though, I hope essentially that you're wrong in the sense of like how people see the players. I hope in this team, Wunder is going to be a carry top the whole time. Because first of all, you've got the team for it with Flackhead. Like, mate, ask Broken Blade, that is a perfect player to have in the bot lane if you want to be the carry top laner. So if people really do think Wunder has it in him, the old Wunder of the 2019 beast that could just carry you against even the best, if that player's awesome, then I think they can be one of the best teams. Because the problem is this, right? I'm with you on the Perks one. Perks was never like even though he actually did the whole Lane Kingdom meme, as far as I know, he just did that meme with like Forgiven or whatever it was.
Man.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Like, he hasn't been a player that smashed lane in a long time. Like, to me, his strength was always like, if he can get to the point in the game where it goes to the mid gate, now he's going to make smart decisions or do a cool flank on someone. So the key thing is, one, I need Wunder to be awesome in this team. I think it's possible. We're going to see though. Because if it is, I actually think that's when the Ankos becomes really valuable. If he can like go between two solos, maybe he needs to prop Perks up a bit and help Wunder get ahead. Obviously, the bot lane knows how to play safe, but he's played with Flackhead before. He knows how to cover him. So I'm putting a lot of hope in this. There's a lot of question marks on this one. My main reason why I have them second is because as we get to some of the other teams, you'll see that aside from G2, guys, there's so many holes in these teams. You can basically pick whoever you wanted. Like, if I wipe my memory and walk up a different day, I could probably do this list in different order. So I've got a bit high on them there. Right. What about, is there another angle on Heretics you want to go on?
Oh, I just want to like double on the fact that Wunder is a great strong side. I feel like I've watched a lot of like Nemesis content. A lot of people ask me like, what do you think about Nemesis? And I never heard what he was saying. I usually listen to I listened to Dom, to LS, but never to Nemesis. And he kept saying like, Wunder is the best top laner. I don't know why you guys are even arguing about this. Wunder is by far the best top laner in Europe. He's better than BB. Just nobody has put him in a situation where he can actually play the playstyle that he wants. So I have a huge hope. I'm on your side 100%. If Heretics can have Wunder as a carry, they're immediately in the top 4.
Yes.
Immediately in the top 4. No doubt. And I feel like there's a reminiscence about G2 2018. Remember with Yarnan and Wadid?
Yes.
When they beat the Golden Road RNG back then? It was the same style. It was the Perks push on the side. Wunder has a TP flank somewhere, set up somewhere. Everybody collapses on Perks thinking he's and he's just a bait. And then the whole team collapses on him. This playstyle is one of my favorite playstyles ever. I think it's the hardest to play in League of Legends. Only Perks in the West have been able to like pull that with his teams. And I have very high hopes we're going to see like at least one team with a different playstyle than the classic modern one. And I'm looking a lot forwards to seeing Heretics. So I see your point. It's just immediately in Winter Split, Wunder being a carry seems far-fetched to me.
Fair enough.
But I completely respect your opinion on that.
Yeah, fair enough on that one. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.